Yeah, I was very happy to see that there was going to be a panel that looked across different industries, and the panel on heavily regulated industries really served a good purpose, I think, in showing that there's, in many senses, a lot more that is in common across these roles than there is that's different. And I think that's particularly the case when you get up to the chief compliance officer, chief ethics officer role, where it's about managing processes. And that was kind of the area where we focused. We had one person from the financial services industry, which of course is suffering from a wave of new regulation. It's all about regulatory change there and a very fast pace, and how do you handle that? And then we had a gentleman from a private company that distributes water, and he had a completely different set of issues. And his problem isn't so much regulatory change, because, for instance, the EPA is going to set water quality standards once and not constantly change them. But nonetheless, he had a lot of regulators to answer to. It's not just the EPA. There are 50 states to answer to. Water quality is not his only problem. There's also rate regulation. There's also water scarcity issues and the usual corporate compliance problems. But one thing that we saw that was in common for both was the need to take a lot of information that's out there and process it and turn it into a workflow. And we discussed the value of having something to automate those workflows, because whether the problem is the pace of the change coming or the scope of people that you have to report to, the problem is no longer how do I get the information. The information's there, it's inside your organization. The problem is now how do I organize it, how do I find the needle in the haystack, and how do I prioritize. The risk management used to be about identification, prioritization, and mitigation, and that's still true. But what came out of the panel is that the difficult part now is more of the prioritization and knowing what's important, rather than just skip ahead to mitigation. So I walked away from that panel learning that a lot of the really core functions of a compliance department and a lot of the core concerns are, let's just say, universal across these industries.